Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Courtney and Lynn, Dick, Russel Targ. This is a real thrill for me to be here and a real honor, and I appreciate being invited. So thank you very much, Jerry. All these people have been major influences in my life. I think that Mind Reach by Russel Targ is one of the very first books that I read about remote viewing. I think that I purchased Cosmic Voyage sometime thereafter, shortly thereafter, and in hardcover, I might add. And Lynn, of course. Lynn, Dick, I met at IRVA a few years ago, so this is just a thrill for me to be in and amongst all these wonderful minds.
Plug my book.
Oh yeah, Lynn has a book too. Lynn has a few books, but yeah. So it's just a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
What happens is remote viewing is a formal way to train you to communicate with your subconscious. We all have a subconscious that maybe has been trying to tap us on the shoulder and scream at us for our whole lives, but we don't listen to it. And when you learn a structured form of remote viewing, it teaches you to open and establish a communication pathway with your subconscious. Once you open that up, your subconscious will talk to you, and you'll start hearing things and knowing things, and it will change you. You become a different person. You become more, I don't want to say psychic, but you become more aware.
Yeah, if I could add to that, your subconscious has been treated like a child your entire life, and once you start giving it responsibility and you start demanding accuracy from it and so forth, and training it to grow up, it actually grows into an adult. And instead of an inner child following you around with all your life, you have an inner adult who is extremely smart and extremely fast. And you find that the remote viewing not only is you find that your subconscious not only knows what's going on in some foreign land at some, coordinate. It also knows where you left your car keys. It knows what your phone number was when you were 3 years old. It knows why you do those things you don't want to do, but you wind up doing them anyway, and why you don't do the things you want to do, but you wind up not doing them. And it's sort of the ultimate way to know thyself as well as the rest of the universe, actually.
Courtney asked me if I've ever done anything double-blind. In all of my workshops, I end with a formal double-blind experiment where everybody has to describe a unique picture in an envelope, and their partner then has to try and match the picture they described to one of four possible things. And it's a 25% chance of doing that, and typically half the people get it right. So people off the street after even a weekend can learn to do that surprisingly well.
That's right. This is
in
one
the
of the
American
things
Dowsing
that,
Society where I did that, 2/3 of the people got it right. That's the most psychic American group I ever worked with. They blew me away.
One of the things,
Lynn, is that you?
Yeah. One of the things that probably should be pointed out here is that there are basically four modes of remote viewing. One is research, another is training, practice, and then operations. In operations, we don't do squeaky clean work, and if you ever want to see the most squeaky clean work that is possible, go to one of Russell's classes. I mean, you wouldn't believe. It's a new definition for squeaky clean.
It's not hard to do. You just have to have the will to do a double-blind experiment with a control so that a person can indeed fail. If a person says, I see something that looks like a windmill, and interviewer chooses the windmill picture, they got it right. If the person chooses the bridge picture, they got it wrong.
Yeah,
and it's really clear whether they were correct or not. And I think that if you don't have the opportunity to simply get it wrong, then you're fooling everybody.
That's right. And this is the answer to what Dick asked earlier. This is training mode. It's not experimental research mode, which, the training mode doesn't require peer review papers to be published and all this. And so for the training that he's doing, you obviously won't have that. Now, the operations mode gets less squeaky, and you really can't even accurately judge it by anything except the results. You might have the most squeaky clean remote viewing session, but if it doesn't help bring the kid home, then what good was it? And it's in operations, it's the results, not so much the information. The accuracy or the percentage of accuracy. It's the results. Does it find the evidence? Does it find the missing child, and so forth?
Forecasting stock market or silver market is a good way to see if you're really fooling yourself or if you can do the thing in a double-blind fashion.
That's true.
I did that with a great psychic, Keith Ferrari, and he got 9 out of 9 correct. And we made a lot of money, as you all know. And then 10 years later, working with spiritual healer Jane Catra and myself, and we were run by 2 mathematicians in a double-blind fashion, and in a case where Jane and I had to agree on our unique individual targets, we got 11 out of 12 right, showing that even a scientist could be psychic. But this was a publishable experiment, double-blind, we could fail, and I'm reading Courtney's paper now, and I don't see a control group at all. Yeah, but you can forecast markets. You've got to take time, and you have to be willing to stick your neck out and say it's going up or it's going down. Otherwise, if you say it's sort of going up, blah, 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 you're fooling yourself. Now, I think that these people ought to, if they want to be taken seriously, then you've got to do double-blind experiments where you can actually fail.
That's right.
I'm reading Courtney. The reason I say that, I have Courtney's paper in front of me now, so I'm no longer a blind reviewer.
If I could stick something in here, this is Lynn again. If I could sort of guide what's to come in this, I would imagine that a lot of the listeners are saying, well, that's all nice and good and all, but what do you do and how do you do it?